Arriving by air from Los Angeles, evangelist Krishna Venter, a self-styled new messiah, and his wife surprised Londoners on a spring morning in St. James's Park. Shoeless and garbed in powder blue robes, the gospeler, who says he lived nearly 2,000 years ago, is making a world tour to meet the common people.
Krishna Venter, the creator and leader of the Fountain of the World cult, believed that there was going to be a race war, that he was the Messiah, that he and his followers would go out in the middle of the desert and wait till the war was over and then rule the world. The very same idea Manson copied in his so-called helter-skelter theory. The first use of the term helter-skelter came from the song with the same name in the Beatles' White Album.
On an acid trip, I'm talking June Cleaver on LSD.
Everything is in color, and I can feel the air. I can see it. I can see all the molecules.
Like Christ, and he had the answers. For as twisted as it all got, I really think that I felt that I had met someone that, by being around him, would have a positive change.
Believed that there was going to be a race war.
And he wanted to incite this race war because he had convinced his followers that through messages he received from the Beatles' White Album, from their lyrics, from biblical Old Testament prophecies, that he had been told that he was going to be the savior of the world. And once the race war started, he would hide his family in a bottomless pit in the desert, and when the race war ended, with the blacks winning, the blacks would be framed for murders. The Manson, with the blacks winning, the blacks would be framed for murders. The Manson family would emerge and repopulate the planet with their perfect offspring and dominate the blacks.
The idea behind and visited the home of Melcher in 1969, only to find out that he had moved. The occupants at 10050 CeeLo Drive was the pregnant and up-and-coming actress Sharon Tate and her husband, the movie director Roman Polanski.
Roman did a lot of bad stuff.
Paramount Pictures presents Rosemary's Baby, suggested for mature audiences.
The agency had paid for a series of brainwashing experiments under a project codenamed MK Ultra. The tests were conducted in secret in the United States and in Canada at a mental hospital attached to McGill University. Experimental drugs, including LSD, were administered to human guinea pigs. The patients were never told that their treatment was part of a CIA experiment.
Hundreds straight out of a movie. When MK Ultra ended in the 1960s, other secret projects would follow. But uncovering information about Manson's shady parole officer.
What I've proven is that he was getting leniency from the federal government. The person who represented the federal government there was his parole officer, Roger Smith, the federal parole officer. Roger was also doing drug research at the Haight-Ashbury Free Medical Clinic. This was an apartment that was decked out to look like a communal hippie place. He had 6 graduate students. He goes, grow your hair long, wear jeans, dress like hippies, and lure people in there. I knew that everybody that worked there, because I interviewed everybody that was alive, they all said, oh yeah, we knew it was Charlie and the girls. They come in every day or every few days to see Roger. Manson, letters between him and the guy who was running the program, describing how they're going to do it, hide it from his colleagues. Everything that he had been accused of and denied, he did. Not only did he do it, he created the blueprint.
He also had been the psychologist for Jack Ruby. Bullet theory? I immediately thought, this smells like bullshit.
The single bullet theory is all about what it does after it emerges from Kennedy's neck. Does it remain intact?
A bullet normally flies true and straight. When this bullet emerged from Kennedy or any ballistic medium such as you saw a moment ago, it's now yawing and tumbling. And the entry wound in Connolly is very important because it's the consequence of a yawed bullet.
I mean, so bad. The fact that that actually gets debated and the fact that it never gets brought up that there were more bullet fragments in Connolly's body than there were missing from that bullet.
Yeah.
And the fact
any shooting incident, you're never going to have the physical evidence that provides you with a complete 100% picture. We still have one shot that's basically unaccounted for.
Mine goes to the Dallas County Jail to examine Ruby in preparation for a psychiatric review, emerges from the county jail and there's press waiting for him, and he announces that within the preceding 48 hours, Ruby had a psychotic break. He couldn't return to sanity. He had audio and visual hallucinations during the exam. He said Ruby hid under a table because he thought there were people in the room trying to kill him, told West that he could hear children's screams outside his jail cell as they were boiled alive, and West said he's completely insane. I mean, there was no evidence of Ruby being mentally ill prior to West's exam.